Fake kids must be exposed. Meghan and the palace cannot hide this serious issue forever. We have dug this issue up again and again, and as Meghan said, this is bullying. However, I say once again, this is not bullying. These are my legitimate concerns and all you about this issue too. So let's dig it up again right now. As I talked about in the last video, friends, Meghan Markle is hurling all these wild accusations as we are uncovering the truth about her invisible children. Now, obviously, if she doesn't like it, she's willing to think of it as an act of bullying. But unfortunately, the question about the two questionable children is not going away, just as the palace may have hoped. And honestly, I think that this gossip has gotten out of control. It's no longer a whisper anymore. And even though the Queen may have buried it in the palace grounds along with a bullying outcome, I'm talking about that investigation, of course, the noise is only getting louder and it cannot be ignored. An analysis is also telling us even more things we didn't realize, and what we don't know can make a new world. But where exactly are the doctors? Where are the nurses? Where are the people responsible for anesthetics, for example? Where are the people who supposedly attended to Meghan Markle when she delivered those babies out of her own body? And why are there no records of these births? Why did they hide this from the Queen when she was still living, considering that supposedly they named Lilibet after her? I do not understand how the medical professionals at any hospital in this world could help Harry and Meghan perpetuate this kind of scam. Why are we not allowed to know which attending physician signed that he attended Meghan Markle and delivered that baby on this day? And look, maybe it's none of our business. Maybe we shouldn't have access to a real birth certificate. Maybe we shouldn't be able to see the doctors' or nurses' names on a real birth certificate. But if you ask me, a real member of the family, like the father, King Charles, or even the brother, Prince William, they should be able to see this. Because if those children are going to be listed in the line of succession, somebody needs to be able to see a real birth certificate. And how are Harry and Meghan going to claim they want privacy, and then they turn around and hire one of the greatest PR firms in the world to broadcast every single time they do anything? Well, that doesn't have anything to do with this. King Charles should have access to the birth certificate, and he should be able to see the attending doctors' names, and he should be able to ask them questions, and if they're lying, well, they should get sued. This is serious business. Did Meghan Markle really give birth to those children or not? The British public have a right to know. A DNA test has to be done to prove that those children really do belong in the line of succession, or maybe they don't. I mean, it's not right that the British are expected to pay taxes to support these kids when they don't even know if the kids are legitimate. The whole charade is just ridiculous. Now, before I suspected anything, I thought Meghan's behavior was absolutely bizarre. Who cradles a nearly flat belly all the time in public? It seems more clear that Meghan Markle was trying to keep it from falling down. The entire Archie pregnancy and birth was such a farce. It is incredibly serious, but the royal family keeps on treating the public like a bunch of fools. And I know it's painful, but everybody thinks that, or even worse. People want Meghan to pay for what she has done, and the things she accuses other people of doing too when she's done the same thing. Justice has to be served. We're talking about the royal family here. I mean, there are so many infractions. Harry and Meghan also blame the pandemic for most of their failures after Brexit. But looking back, I do believe this factor contributed to their current lack of support. You gotta look first at statistics and whether or not they were under scrutiny by the palace for their awful behavior. The outrageous spending, the bullying of employees, and trying to trick the public with the idea that Archie came from Meghan's body. When they left, they still had a lot of support from the media, and actually many sections of the population too, especially the ethnic community, who could have felt more valued at that time by the nation having a biracial royal representative. Now, I could understand that feeling if the royal family were at all focused on race, but they're not at all. So if you ask me, these feelings were a bit unnecessary. But still, most ordinary people do suffer from some kind of insecurity, which really prevents us from being too arrogant. So I can understand that attitude. And if Meghan had been the kind, empathetic, genuine person that she claimed to be, well, I mean, people would have been proud of her. But some of us smelled a rat before the engagement was announced. I mean, some of us were suspicious about that virgin white veil in May of 2018. So I guess for us, the COVID was our heads together time. So if you Google, is Meghan Markle a good person, you can get some pretty funny answers. The answers that showed up were from psychologists who confirmed what I suspected with detailed analyses of Meghan's behavior, and it matches what we have been saying, that she's a narcissist. Usually, it takes around a decade to expose celebrity scam artists, and even longer if they marry into royalty. But often, the truth isn't widely accepted until a few generations after their death due to the cult worshipping that millions get off on. Social media is a powerful force these days. Minions can share their beliefs behind a fake profile. It certainly has sped up the timeline between cult worshipping and facing the realities about public personalities, and the ethnic minority I mentioned earlier seems to have become the majority by today's statistics. In spite of Meghan Markle's attempt to get support from this community, her orange spray tan is fooling nobody, and most people are seeing right through her. Support for the awful pair has certainly paled in comparison to multicultural support for King Charles, Queen Camilla, as well as the Wales and Edinburgh families. Meghan's also doing herself no favors by continuing to crash all these events where her presence is neither wanted nor needed. As Tom Bauer said in his book Revenge, Meghan just picks herself up from a failed venture and she comes back with a vengeance. This is the behavior we see from a psychopath, more than a covert narcissist, so she may be both. One thing, though, that certainly hasn't changed with either Harry or Meghan is their jealousy of the Wales family. Harry has shopped imagery of the three Wales children to his own media promotion while claiming that his own children's activities are classified information in answer to an interviewer's question. What is wrong with him? And we all know that Meghan tries to portray herself as the biracial version of Princess Catherine. Her jealousy of Catherine is disgusting and incredibly unhinged. Why is she so obsessed with comparing herself to Catherine? And she looks horrible. She's taken way too much Ozempic. Or if she's not on Ozempic, there's something seriously wrong with her. She's skeletal. There doesn't seem to be any fat or muscle left on her body. The end result is less than impressive. Now, the problem with continuing to lose weight past that point is that when the body runs below 20% fat in women, it starts metabolizing lean muscle for energy, causing ketoacidosis. And the long-term outcome is not good. It's usually renal or heart failure. So soon enough, Meghan might have to be doing her own wellness podcast from a dialysis unit. Harry and Meghan blame everything and everybody for their troubles except for themselves. Meghan is so obsessed with conquering the world and breaking the internet that she has completely lost touch with reality. I just wish Harry and Meghan would come to their senses or just lay low forever. Go hide somewhere and get the privacy you claim you want. It's about time the royal family got a break from those two. And you, what do you think about this issue? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you preferred this video today, don't be afraid to like and share it with anybody else who would enjoy it anytime you want. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow.